I'm going to start with a quote from Buddha. If we can see the miracle of a single flower clearly, our whole life will change. And that's from Facebook. The cannabis plant, also known as marijuana, hemp, Mary Jane, sensibilia, ganja, etc., has been used for a range of things for many centuries. I believe this to be relevant because we've all been told that cannabis has harmful effects, but on the contrary, it has more benefits than many people know. I think I'm incredible because I have always been fascinated by plants, and I've done some research on this topic. Today, I will tell you a brief history and some of the uses of the cannabis plant. First, I will start with the definition of cannabis. Cannabis sativa is a plant in the family Cannabaceae that is used for its fibers and psychoactive properties. And that's from Google. Cannabis is believed to have originated on the Asian continent around China or the mountains of India. And this is a picture of a cave painting from Japan. Archaeologists have found hemp fibers in China dating from around 4000 BC. They also found hemp ropes and fibers in Turkestan from around 3000 BC. In 200 AD, it was customary to give cannabis to guests to promote hilarity and enjoyment. In India, they believed that cannabis was the plant of the gods and would bestow supernatural powers to its users. They also believed that cannabis was able to give man anything from good health and long life to visions of the gods. For example, in ancient India, they believed that the gift of the gods could help anything from dandruff to insomnia and mania to venereal disease and tuberculosis. As the years went by, this plant traveled around the world. And in 1632, pilgrims brought hemp to New England, where it was used in the U.S. industrially and medicinally until 1937. And that's from So I've given you a very brief history of this plant and where it has originated, and also how this plant has affected most cultures. After this plant was discovered, humans have found a wide range of uses for this plant. Cannabis is considered a five-purpose plant. It can be used for its fibers, oils, seeds, narcotic properties, and for its medicinal therapeutic properties. Hemp fibers have been used to make ropes, clothing, paper, and bioplastics. This vehicle is made out of bioplastics. You might recognize it from the Cheech and Chong movie. Did you know that hemp cloths are stronger, longer lasting, and more durable, and they're also more environmentally friendly than cotton? Hemp oil can be used as fuel. This fuel can be used as is or processed into charcoal, methanol, methane, or gasoline. Also, these biomass fuels are cleaner and virtually free of metals and sulfurs, so it doesn't pollute as much as fossil fuels. Cannabis seeds were being eaten before people found its fibers useful. These seeds are high in protein, essential fatty acids, and are easy to digest. The oils from these seeds also help reduce heart disease. Cannabis has been used for its narcotic properties for many reasons. People use cannabis for its hallucinogenic properties and religious practices to feel closer to their gods. Also, people use it recreationally to relax, de-stress, meditation, and just for enjoyment. Cannabis has many medicinal uses. According to bbc.co.uk, cannabis's cannabidolic acid contains an antibiotic that has similar properties as penicillin. In the U.S., cannabis was one of the most top medicines that treated diseases just by smoking or eating it. And these diseases included multiple sclerosis, cancer, AIDS, glaucoma, depression, epilepsy, asthma, and severe pain. And that's from Earl also. Researchers found that cannabis's active ingredient, THC, can help prevent Alzheimer's disease. And that's from naturalnews.com. In 1974, researchers at the Medical College of Virginia found that THC slowed the growth of lung cancer, breast cancer, and leukemia in mice. Cash Hyde, a two-year-old boy, was diagnosed with cancer and was suffering from the side effects of his chemotherapy. He was eating from a tube and vomiting like no other toddler should, and required 5 different painkillers. After his doctor prescribed his medical marijuana, his father added some cannabis oil to his feeding tube, and almost immediately his pain was subsided. And he started eating again regularly, and he slowly got weaned off the painkillers, and he was able to leave the hospital and go home with his family to recover. And that's from Rager.com. Did you know about 85,000 people die every year from alcohol poisoning? And around 400,000 people die from smoking tobacco? Did you also know that you would have to smoke 800 joints to die from marijuana, but you wouldn't die from marijuana, you would die from carbon monoxide poisoning? And that's from /online. So I've talked about some of the industrial uses, the medicinal uses, and a very brief history of this plant. And in conclusion, I will leave you with a quote from Henry Ford. Those of the forests, which were centuries in the making, and the mines, which required ages to lay down. If we can get the equivalent of forest and mineral products in the annual growth of the hemp field. So let's grow our community, guys.